Don't go at this thing hilly-nilly. Don't just go. Set specific goals. This is an area that people make the mistake of not celebrating specific goals. You can't crush your goals without having goals. You want to be SMART. S-M-A-R-T. Your goals need to be S, specific, M, measurable, A, achievable, R, relevant, and T, time bound. SMART goals all the way. You want to improve yourself in a very smart manner and not ever compare yourself to others, because remember, comparison is the thief of joy and will steal the joy right out of the progress you are making. Along the way, you want to make sure that you set progress goals and hit those milestones, and make sure you celebrate each and every one of them, because that's an accomplishment that you did, not someone else. Remember, you want to be S-M-A-R-T, SMART.
As a beginner triathlete or someone who's coming back into athletics after years off, in this video, we're going to look at 10 things that you will do wrong and how to avoid these mistakes. So stay right here, because I'm going to bring you some really great information on how to crush your triathlon goals.
Now the next one is really important. You blow this one, you'll blow the whole thing. You got to remember something new about what you eat. You have to change your mindset from food as food to food as fuel. You eat a balanced diet on a day-to-day basis, and remember that calories are no longer your enemy. Calories are now like gas in your car. If you don't have enough calories, just like your car not having enough gas, you're not going to get to where you want to go. But does that mean just go out and eat whatever you want? No. Anything that comes through a window when you buy it is not healthy. I don't care what they say, it's not. You want to make sure you eat nutrient-dense foods like fruit and vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats in your day-to-day diet will help you in your training and your racing. You want to practice your race day fueling from day one. From the time you start your training to the time you race, you want to do everything as if you are racing when you're on the bike, when you're doing your swims, and when you're doing your runs. You need to experiment to find out what's best for you. We want to make sure we hydrate during all of our training and our racing with a quality product like Salt Stick Electrolytes. And when it comes to taking in your carbohydrates while racing and training, you want to make sure you use a product like your Bonk Breaker bars or your Bonk Breaker chews. Try them out. They're really quite good. There's links in the description below. I am an Amazon associate. All of the products that I use during my racing or training can be found down below in the description. So you also want to make sure you know your food choices and timing, not only during the race, but also the day before, the morning of, and during the race. This is how you make your nutrition, the fifth discipline of triathlon, a success. Triathlon is an expensive sport, but you can do it on a budget, so make sure you have a budget before you go in, before you get going on this journey. You want to make sure you research before you buy anything. Make sure you research what bike is going to be best for you, what size bike, yes, bikes come in sizes, what wetsuit you might want to use. Make sure you look into triathlon specific wetsuit. Make sure you get the right bike shoes, the right run shoes, and the right kit. What do I mean by kit? I mean the uniform you're going to wear during the race, because a proper triathlon kit you will use in your swimming, your biking, and your running. You will not have to worry about changing. These kits are very, very good for what we do. Your bike is going to go through a lot of abuse in this training and in the racing. So you want to make sure that your bike is mechanically sound. If you're going to use a bike you already have, take it to a bike shop, have it checked out, have it tuned up, make sure the chain is good, the gears are good, the brakes are good, the tires, make sure you put new tires on at the beginning of the training. Make sure that you put a little money into your bike, because that is going to be the bread and butter of your race, because that is the longest part of the race. The next thing you want to make sure you get the best quality you possibly can is your helmet. Do not want to spend $14.95 at a big box store and buy a helmet. You want to buy a good quality helmet. You want to make sure you have the right shoes. If you're racing a bike with clipless pedals, you do not want to use a typical bike type shoe that's going to take you time to strap this in and take it off during the race. You want to use a shoe that is triathlon specific that uses Velcro strips to get in and out. Much easier, much faster than the conventional bike shoe. You want to make sure your running shoes are in good condition for the race. You want to make sure you install elastic shoelaces where you can stretch your shoe and get your foot in there very easily in transition. We talked about the kit that you were going to use. You want to make sure that you use a triathlon specific race kit. It could be a one-piece like this one or a two-piece kit, whichever one's more comfortable for you, but they'll have a lighter chamois so that you can run in these, and they'll be water repelling so you can swim in them much nicer than trying to change in between each discipline. Skimping on the money at the beginning may cause you to have mechanical failures or not be comfortable or waste time in transition during the race.
If you're finding value from this video, drop down below, give me a thumbs up. Also, there's a link for the Goal Crusher t-shirt.
Doing your workouts in the gym, great. Doing your workouts in the pool, great. Doing your workouts in a spin class, great. Once in a while. But you have to practice in race conditions. If you don't practice outside, you're going to hit the race day and you're going to have conditions that you're not used to, and this can and will ruin your race. Find a suitable place for open water swimming that has lifeguards available. Never swim alone, always with a group. Find yourself a group of open water swimmers. We have many of them in the area where I live. I'm sure there's other groups all around the world that swim open water on a regular basis. Join up with them, learn how to swim in open water. All of these things are an anxiety builder and can be beat. Make sure you get outside and ride outside. You can build the endurance you need on a spin bike in the gym or as I have right here, on a bike trainer, but you're not going to get the feel of climbing. You're not going to get the feel of descending. You're not going to get the feel of how to go through a corner nice and smooth and quick. And you're not going to feel the weather conditions, the wind, the sun, the possible rain. Those type of things you have to know how to do on a bike to be successful in the race. Also, make sure you run outside. Treadmills are great. Again, here's my treadmill right here. But I do most of my running outside. I only have this right here for when the weather is bad or if it's dark and not safe out to run that particular day. Make sure you do your brick workouts. Get out there and put together your swim to bike, bike to run. Those type of things are all what you have to do to practice in the race conditions.
The athlete you were no longer exists. The athlete you want to be is just starting out. Don't make the mistake of training too hard right off the bat. Start slowly. Go short and go slow and gradually build up your endurance. Make sure you follow a structured plan that is designed for a novice. Make sure you listen to your body. Make sure that little aches and pains, you take care of them and don't push past them, because that will cause injury, and that is a major mistake. How we avoid that is we build a foundation of endurance by building up slowly, no more than 10% per week at a time. And one of the most important things you can think about is to work on your form, your run form, your swim form, your bike form, and your gym form. So starting slowly is one of the most important things that you could possibly do to crush your goals.
The next thing you want to understand is don't train to your strengths. If you're a runner or have trained as a runner, you need to make sure that you can bike and swim just as well, or if you're a cyclist, just the same, more running, more swimming, or a swimmer, you got to be able to bike and run. You cannot rely on just your strengths. Train all three disciplines. You have to incorporate swim, bike, run, and gym sessions, because when you take and do all three plus throw in gym sessions, you're going to build your strength even, and you're going to reduce the chance of injury. You know, don't just drone away miles on a bike. Don't just drone away miles and do lap after lap after lap in the pool. You have to mix it up. Add some speed work in. Make your swim sessions multiple 25-yard or 100-yard sets. Mix up sprints in between your endurance work. Do Franklin running, where after your warm-up, you run, say, fast from one telephone pole to the next, and then slow for the next two. Make sure you get in long, slow runs where you are building your endurance without hurting your body. Make sure you put intervals on the bike where you're going to ride at a certain pace and then you're going to do a short sprint. These are going to help you to build strength again and not cause injury. You want to track your progress. Invest in a GPS style watch that has heart rate in it, or use a heart rate strap. You also might want to use an app like Training Peaks or several other that are out there to be able to track your progress and be able to look at what you've done in the past, where you are now, and notice that you are definitely making progress. You want to make a big mistake? Try doing this thing alone. Try going out there and doing this thing without any help. Triathlon is definitely a solo sport. When you're out there racing, it's you against the course. No one out there to help you, but beforehand, you can seek out and find really good help. Now, I'm going to give you 3 different methods of finding help, and I'm going to be in a very specific order from the best method down to a method that works. Method number 1, hire a coach. Yes, hire a coach. Make sure you research your coach. Make sure you interview several coaches before you go out there and hire one. Make sure your coach understands your goals. They're not going to set your goals for you. You're going to set your goals, and your coach is going to give you a plan to meet it. He'll be able to answer all your questions, or she'll be able to give you advice when needed. He can set your training, and she'll track your progress. Regardless of who you get as a coach, you make sure that you gel really, really well with the coach, and you will be successful using coaching. Number 2 is a training plan. Well, the difference between a coach and a training plan is a coach is going to be able to adjust your training as you go along, make adjustments for where you're doing things well and where you're not doing things well. A training plan, there's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of training plans out there, and to get the right one is like taking and putting a target on the bottom of the pool, throwing a rock, hitting the water, and hope it lands on the target. You might hit the target, you might get close, but you also might be 10, 15 feet away from the target when that rock hits the bottom. Now, I do offer a 10 for $10 sprint triathlon training plan and a 12 for $15 Olympic training plan. I'm able to give you a training plan for a beginner, intermediate, or advanced racer. Check out the email right here. Send me an email. I'll set you up with that plan. Number 3, there is nothing in the world like hanging out with like-minded people. Find yourself a triathlon club. I'm in a great one, Sarasota Storm. Woo, how's it going, peeps? This is a place that you'll be able to gather to do workouts together. You'll be able to gather to socialize together, and you'll be able to gather at the events and have help if you have problems with your bike, if you have problems with your gear. People are more than happy to lend you things, help you out, show you setups in your transition area. Go ahead and join a club. It's the best thing I ever did for my triathlon racing career, and it could be the best for you too. You know what transition is? One of the biggest mistakes that people make is not understanding and knowing how to do a transition before they show up on race morning. We need to make sure we set up and practice our transitions. To get more information on transitions, I'm going to put a video at the end for you to watch to help you to learn how to do transitions. In a nutshell, what you want to do is you want to set up and practice your transitions, because remember, the transition counts. It's not a rest period. It's not a time to socialize. It counts in the race. It's not just swim, bike, and run. It's swim, transition, bike, transition, run, finish line. You're practicing your transitions. You want to put your wetsuit on. You want to practice getting your wetsuit off quickly and efficiently, because there's not always going to be wetsuit strippers there to help you. You want to put your helmet on and clip it, because that little clip right there can be a hang-up point in your transitions. You want to be able to get your shoes on and off efficiently and quickly, as well as socks. When you get to the race venue, you want to visualize your transition as you're setting it up. You want to set it up in the opposite order that you're going to do it. You're going to put your run stuff the farthest away, then your bike, and then your swim, so that you can quickly and efficiently transition through the race. Another great way to practice your transitions is to do a brick. What is a brick? A brick is where you combine 2 of the disciplines of the race together. You can bike and then run, which is the most common form of a brick, where you are going to bike, get off, transition, and run. You can set up your transition in your home or even maybe in the back of your car before you head off on your bike, so when you come back in, you can get used to switching out as quickly as possible from your bike to your run. Remember, you're not going to be switching clothing. You're just going to be switching from bike to run. Another thing you should do and practice is packing your transition bag before the race. This way you can set things out, understand where they are in your bag, and then have them ready to go and not be the first time you took stuff out and tried to set up a transition on race morning. Transitions are important. Make sure you practice them. Most of all, make sure that you enjoy the process. Right here is a video that's going to help you to enjoy that process. This is Coach John.